first event of the 2019 PGA EuroPro Tour season is here, and we are at the stunning Brocket Hall to get things underway. We've got 15 regular events and one Tour Championship ahead of us. The top 5 at the end of this season will earn promotion to the Challenge Tour. The schedule looks incredible. We've got old favourites returning like Camberwell Park and Frilford Heath. A few new places to visit as well. McDonald's hotels have got on board and we're going to 4 of their venues. Spey Valley up in the Scottish Highlands is one I'm particularly looking forward to going to. The fields look incredible. There's so much depth, so much talent, previous winners, guys that have just turned pro off of stellar amateur careers. This really is where the stars of tomorrow start their journeys, and I cannot wait to see how it all unfolds.
Don't stop at the end. You can be anything you want. You can be everything you choose. Do not let it slip away. 'Cause if you never try it, you never know. You can be anything away. 'Cause if you never try it, you never know.
Yes, welcome to the very first event of the PGA EuroPro Tour season. We're in Hertfordshire at Brocket Hall and we're playing on the Palmerston course. 156 golfers are setting out on a trek that hopefully will transport them to a spot on the Challenge Tour. It's a lengthy journey and it starts right here. John Morgan is down on the River Lee.
Well, hi everyone, it's the start of the season on the PGA EuroPro Tour. We're at Brocket Hall, the Palmerston golf course. It's a par 73, 7,080 yards long. Par 73, mine. I mean, it says it's going to be a long one, but it isn't necessarily that long. And do you know what I think is going to happen on this golf course? It's going to be low scoring, only for the reason there is a boatload of par 5s. And the boys can really get up on most of them. I mean, there's an exception to the rule, 13, 606 yards long. Might not be able to get up there in 2, but if you get a whopping drive down the right-hand side, get it hot, it's going to give you a chance. But the trick of this golf course, if you can play those par 3s really, really well, it's going to be your ace in the hole for a really successful event. And obviously, if the wind blows, well, it's anyone's tournament.
Thanks, John. Like that cap. And Guy Woodman likes the Palmerston course. He's the 36-hole leader at 11 under par, 1 clear of Todd Clements. Brocket Hall can be a test, but conditions make such a big difference.
I mean, I think it all depends on the weather, to be honest with you. I mean, at the moment it's quite calm out here, so the scores are going to be reasonably good. I think if the wind picks up with some of the pin positions that I've seen, I think it could be quite a test out there. Just getting the ball in the right positions on the greens, really. I think you'll find the most of the scoring will happen on the par 4s, because I don't think the par 5s are particularly easy out there. So yeah, I think par 4s are going to be where the real scoring is, getting controlled, getting the ball in the right positions. On 18's a very birdie ball hole if you get the drive in the right position, because obviously down there on that fairway you can be blocked out. Obviously it means you've got to lay up. 17's not an easy par 3 with the green being quite slopey. Again, tucking that pin away, back left, back right can be quite hard to get to. So I think if you're playing well, you should be able to hold on, hopefully.
Everything, including the weather, set fair. And joining me, Phil Yates, in the commentary box, it's Scott Drummond, a former PGA champion, and Gary Ellis. The first golfer we're going to see, a fine prospect from Northern Ireland.
Yeah, it's a great leaderboard. We're all set for a fantastic final day here at Brocket Hall as we see this approach to the first. Right over the pin. Look at the spin on that one, Gary.
Yeah, it's very good, Scott. The course is in magnificent condition. Greens are holding, so the players are really able to attack the pins, and I think we're going to see them hitting it very close.
3 pars to start for Conor O'Neill. Scott, who has been an international at amateur level, and he's about to get a birdie there. That's a tap-in.
Yeah, they've got the pin surrounded there. Back to the first. Galbraith for his birdie. It's possible to get a fast start on this course. Opening 3 holes, all good chances. And that's his first one. Superb start. Settled any nerves that may be lingering.
O'Neill likes this front 9. He was out in 31 on day 1, including an eagle 2 at the 3rd. He's had a couple of top 10s on the MENA Tour in the Middle East already this year, including tied 3rd in Jordan.
Yeah, some good results. Great tour that in the Middle East. Back to the first. Turner with his approach. Just a wedge, eyeing it down. And we can see a lot of backspin on this first green. Green does slope a little bit from back to front, aiding that spin. I won't be too happy with that one.
Forward to the second. Second shot, left-hand side. Perfect position here. Middle iron. Big high finish there, Scott, on that one. Nicely balanced. And another one. Look at that. Boom. Right in over the flag. And about 10 feet. Slightly downhill for his birdie.
Yeah, I think the guys will be peppering these flags today if they can control the spin. Now Turner for his birdie on the first. A little bit of left to right. He had the line. Just a little bit aggressive with the pace.
On the first tee, the leader about to begin. Woodman, rounds of 67 and 68 thus far.
Yeah, highly experienced pro, Guy Woodman. Played with him a few times in my career.
Everything looks so right with Guy Woodman, and you know, the players now, Scott, they're very, very athletic, aren't they? Look, you can see the muscles rippling under their shirts.
Yeah, everyone takes it very, very seriously. It is a power game these days. Now Turner, we saw his birdie attempt. Shaved the left edge of the hole. This one should have a little right to left in it. He's just hung it out there. And that's a 3-putt bogey to start. And with a wedge in his hand, he won't be happy with that.
For so many reasons, that will hurt, Scott.
Yeah, it's an opening birdie chance, really, that hole.
Now on the second, the experienced McIlroy using his putter to great effect. Look at that. That's a nice. It's always nice when you hole one off the fringe.
Yeah, it looked like it wobbled around the pin then. I thought it might have stayed out, but be happy to see that drop.
I think with modern pins and everything, they're now so thin, and personally I think the change of rules of allowing to putt with the pin in is a good thing because it speeds play up.
Yeah, a lot of guys enjoying that. As we go to Clements, his wedge shot to the first, stay. Oh, you can see he didn't quite get it pin high. Look at the spin on that, all the way back down near the front of the green.
This his first ever appearance on the EuroPro Tour, and what an impression he's making.
Yeah, he's a great player. I've had the privilege of playing with him earlier this year, and he is a strong young player. Now this for birdie. Bolted it in. Superb shot. We saw the high towering iron shot over the flag, and he finishes that off with a beautiful putt.
Now, we saw Woodman's tee shot in a spot of bother, could only advance it too short of the green, so trying to chip and putt for a nerve-settling opening par, and probably he'll get it.
Yeah, good action here, look at that. Pretty stiff-wristed, just letting the club do all the work. Fully in control of his shot. A little bit of work to do for his par. Now Clements, we saw his wedge shot zip back near the front. Long birdie attempt, left to right, just over the little brow. He's judged it very well. No stress with that one for his part.
As we move forward to the drivable par 4, 325 yards this one. Most players having a crack at it. And here goes Bauer. Pin today tucked on the left side on a little shelf. It's fairly accessible from the tee, but it's a very small area. And as we could see, that one's probably just a yard or so short of the green, little chip up.
Yeah, there's a little upslope there, just prevents them rolling up. Now Woodman to save his par on the first. Oh, and that was a little bit of an edgy one. Not quite committed. And it just moved. There are some quite subtle and some quite large breaks on these greens. That was a subtle one.
Now, Andrew Wilson, who's begun with 3 consecutive pars. The fourth, though, undoubtedly a birdie opportunity. Or maybe better. Fantastic. The second time already we've seen a pinpoint approach to that hole.
Yeah, that's a really inviting pin position there. Now then, back to the third. Bauer with his little chip up. Little lofty one, put some spin on it. And he's judged that pretty well. 2.5 feet for his birdie.
Todd Clements made his debut on the European Tour earlier this year at the Saudi International at Royal Greens. Acquitted himself pretty well there, a couple of 71s, there's no doubt about it. He's got bags of potential, and look at that ball scampering down the fairway.
Yeah, big drive from Clements. He's got a swing speed of around about 120, ball speed up around 170, so he is sending it out there.
About this little brush in for his birdie. And I think most players will be very disappointed today if they don't make a 3 or even better on the third hole.
Yeah, they'll be seeing that as a long par 3, I think, Gary. Now Woodman, tee shot at the second. Opening tee shot wasn't the best. We're looking for better on this hole, up the left side. Try and catch the fast lane. Well, he didn't get much of a bounce, but he's on the short stuff. Good position.
O'Neill, he is down there, honestly, there he is. Almost won the 4 Business Championship on this tour at East Sussex National a couple of years ago. 1 shot outside the playoff. Might well go better today on the evidence of what we've seen so far.
Return to Guy Woodman. Perfect angle to approach this green from the left side. Looking straight at the flag. Expect this to be reasonably adjacent. Not bad. Good line, touch short.
Yeah, pin's just on a little back shelf there, which is actually quite narrow. Can be tough to get it all the way back. Now O'Neill. That's a great up and down. On this par 5. Another birdie secured.
Yes, as John said earlier on, the par 5s, although they are long, they're all reachable. As we look to Todd Clements, just needing to shape it a fraction from left to right, which he's done beautifully, and got it on that back shelf you mentioned, Scott.
He has, and now Kit's there to take a look.
Woodman's only about 30 feet from the hole here, but there is a significant tier about halfway. Just where you can see that ball ahead, that's just at the rise of it. It's really easy to get a bit over-aggressive on this and just run it 3 or 4 feet past. That's the absolute last thing he's going to want to do after missing a relatively short one for par on that first hole.
Yeah, this is not an easy putt after what's just happened, like Kit said. Especially with a few nerves, early part of the round. Let's see what he can do here. It's looking pretty good. Oh, well, there you go. That's exactly what he needed.
I'll tell you what, lads, that's the definition of bounce back ability.
Oh, it is indeed. He will be delighted with that. I'm sure over that putt he was just hoping to get it up there dead, maybe give it a sniff to go in. A little wry smile there.
Now and again, isn't it? I think the way
Good man.
Moving up to the 4th, big dog leg downhill. Power just from the right rough. Quite a kind pin placement today, middle of the green.
Now Clements. There's a quality approach shot in here at the second. Can he follow Woodman in for birdie? Yeah, it's a wonderful stroke. And he is the danger man today, in my opinion.
As for John Ross Galbraith, well, we saw him birdie the first, 2 pars have followed.
And he has hit his tee shot into the perfect place on the left side of this. Quite a rise to the green, so they can't see the bottom of the pin. Have to go on yardage books and lasers for the distance.
Now Clements at the third. He's not going to need a big driver here, that's for sure. Just a smooth one. He's got the power to get there. As we said earlier, his swing speed and ball speed is up there with the best of them. And he was there, but that's just on the left side. Might be a little bit awkward.
Our first view today of the final member of the last 3 ball, Niall Kearney. A couple of pars for him to start.
Another player with great experience, Noah Kearney. PGA Cup player, won lots of times in Ireland. And puts it through the back of the green just. Big bash.
Yeah, that'd be a long eagle putt there. Now then, back to Bauer at the fourth. We saw his approach, a little bit cautious into the front left side of this green. These greens are running pure, so anything's makeable, as we've just seen there. Superb. Guys are all getting amongst it. This opening stretch of holes, offering up lots of chances.
So you see Clements flipping it just onto the green. He's got a lovely touch. He's looked calm over these last couple of days, and as you say, Scott, I think he's not fazed by where he's sitting.
No, absolutely not. Now Galbraith at the fourth. Lovely approach just below the hole, up the hill. Yeah, straight in the middle.
Tied third in the Matchroom Sport Championship at Harleford last year with a closing 66. He'd like to repeat that number today.
Absolutely, I think he's going to need something like that to stay in contention. Now Kearney, long putt here, down, then up, and then back down towards the flag. Well, he pretty much had the speed, but not the read on that one, Gary.
No, it was a very, very difficult putt. I had a look earlier on, and that was difficult. Down, up, and it looks as though it was going to break left to right.
Now Wilson at the seventh. The short par 4. Accessible pin today, front middle. And even coming from the rough, he's been able to stop that one pretty close.
To Kearney, this one just over 3 feet. Nicely done for his birdie.
Going back to Andrew Wilson on the 7th, he's a very interesting character. Got a master's degree in finance from Northumbria University. This is his rookie season as a pro, and he looks very much at home.
Yeah, he does indeed. That was a superb effort there. Now Clements just tidying up. Another birdie at the third.
He looks very good with the putter in his hand, I must say. He's got a nice posture.
And the consequence of that is this. Todd Clements is the new leader, heading to the 4th on this pristine Palmerston course at Brocket Hall. One in front of Guy Woodman. The IFX Payments Championship continues after the break.
I'm here with Paul Lisbinski, the Director of Sales and Marketing at the wonderful Brocket Hall. And Paul, you're going to take us for a bit of a tour and show us some of the stunning insides of this incredible house.
Absolutely, Kit. Welcome to Brocket Hall.
Thank you.
If you'd like to come with me. Basically, Brocket Hall was actually built 250 years ago by an architect called Payne. 2 prime ministers have actually lived and died here. In Lord Melbourne's time, he was very influential with Queen Victoria. So you might see some artifacts about Queen Victoria. I'd like to bring you into the drawing room. The drawing room basically depicts a younger portrait of Queen Victoria just before the coronation. I'll take you through the hall. This is the reception area. I'd like to draw your attention to the image on the wall here. This is how the estate used to be in George IV's time. Very much a horse riding estate that used to have about 6,000 acres, and used to back on Hatfield House. Into the morning room, please. Thank you, Kit. This actually used to be one of the dining rooms, as you see the circular ceiling. Brocket #1 actually he had this passion for battle pictures, hence you've got the Battle of Trafalgar on the walls, so it has still kept its original paintings on the wall. So I'd like to bring you, Kit, into the main hall. This is where the dinner is served.
Wow.
And as you can see, this is the jewel in the crown of Brocket Hall. Just a bit of history facts. When the house was built 253 years ago, there was a gentleman painter called Dennis Wheatley. He painted the ceiling. The chandeliers that you see now, the total value of the ceiling and the chandelier amounted to what the house cost.
Really?
So when it was built, it cost £3,000. Half of the money was spent on the hall and the chandeliers. The table you see in front of you is, in fact, we call it the Prime Minister's table. It seats 54 guests. It's the second longest in England. The first one is actually in Windsor Castle. That actually seats 73. This is the River Lee. It's not a lake. It was actually landscaped by Capability Brown, and then the architect Payne actually built the bridge. So the idea was the guest would have that sweeping entrance into the house over the bridge, and then the guest had that amazing view of the lake.
I mean, the ceiling is absolutely incredible, like you say. When you walk in here, you never quite know where to look. You've got the massive table that you immediately see, the chandeliers, all the portraits. It's just opulent everywhere you look, and what a setting. A simply stunning place.
Thank you very much.
With an incredible history as well.
Fabulous.
Thank you so much for showing us around, Paul.
Listen, you're so welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So far, Todd Clements has been much like this venue, top class, and he's looking to make history. He parred the fourth, as did playing partner Guy Woodman, and therefore, Clements retains a one-shot lead. Jamie Bauer and Niall Keeney are now tied third, with Richard Mansell, after 4 straight pars to start, stuck at 8 under, 4 off the pace.
Yeah, and here we are, par 3 fifth. Short one down the hill, not always easy to judge with the wind swirling around in the trees. This is an accessible pin, and look at that, feeding in off the right side. I think we can almost give him that one, Gary.
Yeah, he's very close. You can just see the A1 there zooming past in the background. John Ross Galbraith up on the top of the hill here. This 6th hole skirts the bunker and leave himself a fairly straightforward little chip up the green on this par 5.
Former England amateur captain Ashton Turner represented England and GB 29 times before turning pro.
Superb record that. Doesn't look old enough to me. He's eyeing this one down, and why not? Taking dead aim at that one. A little bit of a downhiller left to right for his birdie there. Now Galbraith, we saw him come up short here. Par 5, 6th. This is his third shot, little chip up onto the top level. Made it very aggressively, just about 3 feet or so there for his birdie.
Turner likes the course. He was second in the pre-event Pro-Am.
Yes, just needs to keep this one just on the left lip, which he's done, and it duly disappears.
Yeah, putting surfaces really are running fantastically well. Now McIlroy, par 5, 6, this for his birdie. Up the hill, little left to right. He's judged that beautifully. Had great success a couple of seasons ago here on the EuroPro Tour.
Mansell looking for his 2. Never in doubt, the man who shot 58 at Fort Lauderdale Country Club. In 2016, he made 10 consecutive threes that day, a back 9 of 27.
Wow, that is some feat. Not achieved by many people at all, that. Good clean up there from Galbraith. Confidently knocked in for his birdie 4.
59 is remarkable, 58 unbelievable almost. So, par 5-6, drive, difficult tee shot this one. But so many players these days see the driver moving a bit left to right, but this is a hole that you've got to shape it just a tad right to left, and Mansell's done that perfectly.
He has, that's a prime spot there. Not sure if that was a 3-wood. Let him get a bit of draw around the corner. O'Neill now, eagle putt on the 9th. Very reachable par 5, tricky green though. Oh, shaved the left edge. That would have been a bonus to close out the front 9.
67-70 in the first 2 rounds for the sole amateur competing here, John Goff. Started today with 5 consecutive pars.
Yeah, Phil, local player. Nice tidy player. Looks as though he's got a very fine future in the game of golf.
Yeah, he's holding his own so far with the big boys. Now Mansell, we saw the tee shot into prime position. Able to attack this par 5 with an iron. High ball flight. Get up. Just needs to get up past the false front, which he's done. Couple of putts there for his birdie.
67-73 on the first 2 days for Conor O'Neill, who began yesterday with a double bogey. No such problems today, though.
Well, he's closed out that front 9 with a birdie, and he's got another par 5 to come. Now back to Goff. Short left of this par 5 in 2. Lobbing one up high with a bit of check. Oh, well, that was a couple of rolls away from an eagle 3.
Yeah, that was a magnificent effort. As we zoom back round the corner and down the hill to pick up Clements. As you say, Scott, often using a 3-wood you can get a little bit of movement. Modern drivers, seems funny to say they almost hit the ball too straight, and he's a little bit fortunate there, because that could have rolled another couple of yards. It would have been completely stymied by the tree.
Now Mansell up ahead at the green. He actually rolled back off the green with his second shot. He's got a little chip up here. It's a little bit aggressive. Now Kit is back, looking at Todd Clements' tee shot.
The 6th is the first of the par 5s, and Clements has got 250 yards to the front edge of that green. Now that number is significant because anything that doesn't quite get there is going to come off a very steep slope and just get further and further away from that green. It's into a slight breeze as well. I think he'll pull 3-wood and go for it, but he is going to need to get all of it to get it up to that putting surface.
First though, back up to the green now. Can Mansell cover over the cracks? The chip wasn't the best, but it's an up and down nevertheless. The putter, the great equaliser.
Yeah, you can save so many shots, good and bad, with a putter. Now here's Galbraith at the 7th, par 4, dogleg left to right. He's left himself quite a long way back here, but he's got a good view. Oh, he's let go of that one. Might kick back in off the right. Let's try in. Come on. Well, I think he'll take that one, Gary.
He certainly will, because with a short iron he'd miss by 15 yards there. But again, it's all about, you know, the pin is on the front, it feeds into it, and that's what he's done.
Yeah, you miss it in the right place. Now Woodman, second shot. par 5-6, just trying to draw it round the edge of these trees. Has he just held it out to the right? He has. Shouldn't be too much danger there. I think he's past the trees. Just a slightly blind shot.
Yeah, Clemens got good contact as Kit told us that he would need. He certainly sounded a great hit. And here it comes. Yes, look at that. And I think that might actually hold. It's got far enough up the green not to be troubled by the false front.
Take a look at the action here of Clements, coached by Zane Scotland. Very strong technique, modern golf swing. Working very well for him at the moment.
So after that touch of fortune, Galbraith, just a whisker on the right, this needs to be. And it just held on enough to catch the left side. And a nice birdie. Now up to John Morgan, who's on the 8th.
Well, everyone, we've come to the 8th, and what a cracking par 3. It's just over 200 yards, 201 to be precise, and it's an absolute little beauty. Well, it ain't little, is it? It's a monster, really, and these boys, it's going to be a test now and probably a decisive moment with them going into the back 9. Now, you look at this par 3, slightly raised green, big bunker guarding the left-hand side, just short of the green. Then it's surrounded by beautiful trees, and it falls away on the right-hand side, and also a little bit short of the green as well, falls back towards you. So clubbing is essential. You need height on this one because you want to get it up there, landing it soft. Anything right, you're not going to be able to see the bottom of the pin for your second shot as well to boot. So favouring the left is essential. And you see the big fur? I think that's my aiming point, which is left half of the green, little fade, should be fine and dandy. Wish me luck. Out with a 6. Right then, let's drift this baby into that green. Come on, Jenny. That'll have to do. Happy days.
Has that man ever missed a green in regulation?
I don't think so. Not when he's been doing this programme, he hasn't. Anyway, Galbraith, let's see what he's got at the 8th. John hit a 6-iron there, that's a big one. Might be a 5 for some of these guys. Oh, get up. Well, he's safely on. Might be a tricky putt.
Guy Woodman first won on the EuroPro Tour back in 2007 at Collingtree Park.
Hard to believe that, 12 years as we see him coming out of the trap. Pepper in the pin, Gary.
It was a cracking shot. Again, beautiful entry there. A couple of inches behind the ball, just the perfect amount of sand combined with the speed to control the distance. All makes it look pretty simple, but most amateurs still find bunker play tricky.
He's got his hands full today, though, trying to get the better of this man, Todd Clements, who made the cut last year at the Omega Dubai Desert Classic.
Yeah, he's got some good experiences in the bank. And this for Eagle. Just touching the left edge. And he's very comfortable around this golf course. Been playing here since February. So he knows it well. Confident with his lines off the tees.
Yes, he's attached here formally, isn't he? So a victory for him would be very popular at this particular club.
Absolutely.
Yes, and a local player has certainly brought out quite a lot of local support as we watch Galbraith. This is a big putt over, and you can see a big swing, and he really hasn't managed to get either line or length right with that one.
No, that was a tricky one. They can make you foolish, look foolish sometimes. Now Woodman, bunker shot to here, down the hill for his birdie. Never quite on the right line. And that one's actually snuck by, bit of work to do. Now Galbraith, second attempt here, this for his par. Got to be really firm with this to hold its line. And what looks like a pretty innocuous par 3 with a simple pin position suddenly becomes difficult, claims a victim.
Yes, as we saw, this one did scuttle down, so firm, left half. Yeah.
He now trails Clements by 2, and the leader is talking to Kit.
Todd, 3 under par for the first 6 holes. How do you feel it's going?
Yeah, a nice start, isn't it? Obviously, the score reflects that. Missed a few, but yeah, no. I mean, I feel like I'm playing nicely, and you know, got to just keep pushing on the pedal.
How do you feel the course is playing today? It looks like there's plenty of opportunities to be had out there.
Yeah, I think we spoke beforehand. If you drive it well and you give yourself a lot of chance with irons, I think you can make a great score.
Are you keeping an eye on the leaderboards to seeing what's going on at this point?
Nah, I mean, there's a long way. There's 12 holes to play yet. I'm out here just learning. I've not been in this position for that many times, so just out here enjoying it, learning, and trying to just play my own game.
Superstar, keep enjoying and learning.
Thank you very much.
With only 3 strokes covering the leading 8 players, this season's curtain raiser on the EuroPro Tour remains up for grabs. But there's no doubt who's making the deepest impact. New boy, Todd Clements. Let's find out a little more about the man at the top.
Todd, this is your first full season as a pro. You turned pro September last year. How are you adjusting to life so far?
Yeah, it's been a real up and down kind of journey so far, not knowing where I'm going to be playing when I first turned pro, to then come out here, gain full status in the EuroPro, give me a full schedule, and I'm looking forward to what's to come really.
You came off of a really stellar amateur career. What were the highlights of that for you?
Obviously there was 2 big highlights towards the end of it, winning the English Amateur in 2017 and then obviously going on to win the Euro Nations Cup with Team England early part of 2018. 2 big wins in the world of amateur golf, so really proud of those 2 things, but it's now time to press on.
You got up to number 7 in the world amateur golf ranking, so knowing you were truly one of the elite then, where do you put your expectation levels when you do turn pro?
I think that's something you've got to really manage because the level now at any professional level is high. For me, you're coming out here to try and win, and I'm sure everyone else out here is doing the same thing, and I've been there, I've kind of won a few amateur events, so hopefully that can push me forwards onto good things on the EuroPro.
And now coming into your first EuroPro Tour season, are you realistically thinking that you can go on and achieve top 5 and kick straight on after this year?
That's part of my aspirations. I feel like I've got the game, I've got the ability to be able to do it, but it's it's proving it to myself, proving it to my team, pushing myself to the next level, and hopefully I can push on.
Clements mentioned winning the English Amateur Championship. That was in 2017 at the Berkshire. Also, names on that trophy: Tommy Fleetwood, Danny Willett, Paul Casey and Sir Nick Faldo.
Yeah, following in some good footsteps there, and played the little punch cut there. He got away with it through the branches of the trees, and that has finished in a wonderful spot really from where he was. He'll be very happy with that indeed.
I think this is very impressive. Kept it down, managed to get a little bit of movement from left to right, which is never easy when the ball's above your feet, because the face is already looking left when it lies like that. Very good, Scott.
Yeah, absolutely. Good bit of shot making. Now Woodman, much more straightforward. Just off the downslope there, you can see, hard to keep the balance. He actually just dragged that one left. Stays on the fringe, not too bad. He will be disappointed though.
Up to the 10th hole. We have a look at Connor O'Neill. His long attempt for his eagle. Up and over. Yeah, pretty good from that range. Chance of a birdie.
Woodman actually just missed the fringe into the fluffy stuff. Little bump and run by the look of it. Get it on the surface, get it running like a putt. Very good. Had a little look in on the way past. Now O'Neill. Was a monster first putt he had. Very tricky with lots of slope. This gives him a good chance for birdie. Has he hit it? Oh, just in the front door. Back-to-back birdies for O'Neill.
The 7th hole has proved agreeable to Todd Clements. Birdie on day 1 and again on day 2. And would you believe it? There's the full house.
Yeah, that's a wonderful birdie from where he was off the tee.
Made his mum very happy there, watching her son very closely with his dad.
Yeah, great to see the family out supporting. Big moment for him. Now Woodman. This is a must putt for par on this 7th hole. Just about 3.5 feet. Well, he tried to bolt it in. You can see he's just been a little bit unsettled on a couple of short putts. Got almost the same distance now for bogey, which he makes, but that's a drop shot.
Things not going well for Woodman, but what a dream start for Todd Clements. Playing in the last group is never easy, but he's thriving. 3 clear, fast approaching the turn at beautiful Brocket Hall. Michael Longshaw is the managing director here.
We've got the place looking quite nice for the players, and the practice round, certainly they were being very enthusiastic about it. An awful amount of work has gone on from when we initially agreed to do it. We were very concerned that we wouldn't be able to get it together in time initially, because it would be the first serious event we've had for over 20 years. In fact, the last one was literally 20 years ago. And I'm extremely proud of the way the guys have pulled together and worked all day. You know, greenkeepers very rarely see the sun set, and they've been doing that all this week and last week to make sure that we were ready for the tour, and I just hope that the players appreciate it and enjoy it.
Can the likes of O'Neill and Wilson place our leader under pressure in these serene surroundings? Back after these. Welcome back to Brocket Hall, the Palmerston course, and to the closing round of the IFX Payments Championship. Scoring is absolutely excellent, so are conditions, and 4 under par through 7 holes. That also applies to a debutant on the PGA EuroPro Tour, Todd Clements, about to tackle the stern par 3 8th, in command of the tournament, it seems.
Yeah, he certainly is in control at the moment, but 9 and 10 are both eagle chances, so someone could make a move. But here is Clements, par 3 8th, up the hill. Strong hitter, so probably 6 iron here. And that's a great shot. Pin high, it's just going to feed away a little bit. That's a good spot there though, Gary.
Yes, that was very well judged and leaves more or less a straight uphill putt. As we go to Andrew Wilson on the par 5 10th, just about reachable, which is just about what he's done.
Yeah, that will be a wicked putt from there. Full length of the green. Now Kearney. What's he got on the 8th? Looking like trying to hit a little high draw in here. Oh, and that's either a miscue or a missed club, and that's come up short.
For Connor O'Neill, it's all about getting his own back on the 11th hole. Made bogey the first 2 rounds on this par 4 of less than 400 yards.
Yeah, that's a great shot in there though, to get pin high. He's not too close, but that is an incredibly difficult green.
Wilson with this tricky putt up the slope, levels out. All in all, it's not a bad effort. It's certainly not a gimme, but he's done okay.
Now Kearney, looks like he's stuck in the fluffy grass just short of the green. Going to play a little bump and run. That is very weak. Extremely disappointed he will be. You can see the slope. He's coming up onto the green. It just didn't get rolling. Maybe just came out a little bit soft on him.
Just sounded a bit funny, didn't it, with the contact there, Scott, as we look at Wilson. Now, can he make this birdie? Yes, indeed.
Fantastic 2-putt that. Must have been all of 60, 70 feet. Now Clements, this to get to 15 under. This for a birdie 2. Positive stroke. Oh, you can see he fancied that one. That was in all the way. Just turned left at the end. Safely through this hole with a par though. And on to the par 5 9th for him.
And that means if O'Neill does get redemption on the 11th, he'll be only 2 back.
Yeah, Put a little bit of pressure. Go on then. There we go. You said it's not a long par 4 this. Plays stroke 1 for the members on the card.
So following the bit of a wishy-washy chip, the best we can say is that he's slowly getting a little nearer.
Well, they come to the 10th hole, another par 5, coming off back-to-back ones this is, and you've had 9, 510 yards, real golden opportunity of an eagle. Then you come to this one, and it's 572 yards, absolute monster. Straight down there, you can see the tee shot plays downhill, real beautiful cut fairways as well, slopes from right to left, really snakes its way up to a raised green in the distance, and it is an absolute beauty. So like I say, they fancy their chances the hole before. Now they come there and they're going to fancy their chances for a birdie, and they'll take a par all day long. Obviously, Bondi left, Bondi right, don't want to be there. Really get your focus eye on. Probably pick one of the lines out that are on the fairway and don't take your eyes off it. Probably, I would say the bunker in the far distance on the right edge of the green is a good one to aim at. So these boys, snakes a little bit on the right hand side as well, bit tight there, about 20 yards wide. So maybe some of the players might be able to just flirt it and get about 300 yards down there and take that out of play. I'm going to see if I can do what they'll do. Here we go. Wish me luck. Well, I didn't quite catch it. Bit bottomy, but it's going up towards the bottleneck. And there we go. A lot shorter than what I thought it was going to play, but that wind into my face. Going to make this baby play a long way. Boys have got a job on their hands.
Jamie Bower was looking to follow John Morgan's example, but Scott, he hasn't.
No, he's lost his first tee shot way to the right. It's a provisional. Out with an iron, I think, just to prod it down, get it in play. Yeah, just trying to find the fairway with that provisional ball. Kit is over on the 9th.
Woodman only has 177 yards into the par 5 here, but as we come to a section of the course which is a bit more open, you can see the breeze is starting to pick up a bit. It's off his right, slightly into his face, but with that number, 177 yards, it shouldn't really be anything more than a 7-iron to get it on there.
Yeah, it's a massive drive across the corner, and this is a tricky green, so lots and lots of slopes on it. From this range, he will be looking to get it within 20 feet, you would feel. Oh, and that was close to being good. But now he's got an awkward bunker shot.
Slightly further to the right, still with a great look down the green. What can Todd Clements do? Can he go a little better than Woodman? He certainly can. That's right over the stick, just on the back fringe, but you get a good idea of the humps and hollows on this green.
Good look at Clements' action here. Very controlled. 3/4 cover in the shot. Perhaps just keeping it below the wind. Wilson on the 11th, this for another birdie. Fantastic shot to leave himself this one.
Yeah, well, mate. Well done.
Well deserved.
Now let's nip back to John on the 10th.
This is where it gets really difficult for your second shot, because it's violently from right to left, all going down to left, big dip on the left-hand side. You can see the rough. It's not that penal this week here, but you go that extra mile, you're in the real thick stuff that's up to your knee. But now, with the second shot into this raised green that you see in the distance with the wind into you, the ball's well above your stance. And, you know, when the ball's above your stance for a right-hander, what happens? Left comes into play, because you're more around the body, and that's where it can head. So this one's going to be a tough baby for the players. Whew, better bring your A game.
Indeed. Good ball striking required. Now this, the 4th shot for Bower. He did lose the first one. Long iron. Trying to drive it all the way back to this pin. They're going to get to the green first.
Galbraith, been a bit fortunate, feet in the deep stuff, ball looks as though it's lying cleanly, out with a little wood. watching it closely. I think he likes it, and quite rightly, although that very long testy putt he will be faced with.
From one contender to the profile of another, Guy Woodman. He's had a couple of top tens down on the Sunshine Tour in South Africa, and at the age of 41, he's been a professional for 19 years.
Yeah, what's that like to be the senior figure, shall we say, in the field?
It's kind of cool. It's nice to know that you can still play a bit and you can compete with them, because the standard is really good. I mean, I started out doing this stuff 20 years ago, and it was always good then. You always had the top group of players who could really play, and we've seen people like Lee Slattery and guys like that have gone on and gone through the EuroPro Tour and had great careers. But now the depth is so deep, and the kids are starting so young and practicing the right way, and it's all the information's there for them to be good players now, and they are. So the fact that I'm kind of there and competing with them, I love that challenge, and it's good to know that it's still in there now and again. Yeah.
You're juggling family life, another job outside of professional golf, as you say, against all these up-and-coming young guys who are devoting themselves to it. How much of a challenge is it to stay competitive?
It's tough. I do what I can when I can. I have a very understanding wife, which is great. I mean, it's hard not to otherwise. And my little boy now, he's 2. I'd love it if he became a sportsman and loved to play golf. We could spend time together.
Is it the moments like this where you get yourself up there and start feeling the buzz that keeps you coming back?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, it's like I haven't been in this position for a long time. You know, I play regional golf. I play the pro-ams. That's great, but normally you're playing with 3 amateurs or and stuff like that. And we have our regional events, and it's great when you get in contention and you can win one of those. That's great. Because on our region, the South region, you have some great players on there, ex-tour pros and what have you. So that still keeps me competitive. But yeah, this is a great situation to be in. Yeah.
For Woodman, bogeys today outnumbering birdies 2 against 1, but he's got the chance to balance the books here.
Yeah, this is a crucial moment in the round. He needs to get this one up and down. He's done a great fist of that. Just a bit longer than it looks, but here we go. Very delicate bunker shot, keeping that loft on the club, popping it up nice and high. Look at that club face looking at the sky. But crucial moment for him. He needs to roll that one in and do something on 10 as well. Now here on 10 is Bauer. This is his 5th shot now. Short of this green, about a 40-yard pitch here to the back flag. And that's very good. Chance to save bogey.
From a negative to a positive back on 9, Clemens, Scarry has got the chance to put the cat amongst the pigeons.
He certainly has. It's a tricky putt across the slope, but it's running beautifully. Oh, this would be a real bonus. But a birdie he will take at this stage. He really is looking well on his way.
Yeah, if he can keep making birdies, the other guys are going to have to make eagles to catch him. And that is unlikely.
Out in 32.
Yeah, such a solid front 9. Really comfortable position now, Galbraith. Seen a couple of putts from here, get to about 4 feet. This for an eagle 3. A bit more pace on this one, it's looking good. Yeah, superb effort. Much more difficult than these guys are making it look.
Now this important one here, head steady, back through, roll him in. Yes. Well done, Guy.
Yeah, good up and down. He needed that. He really needed something to close out the front 9. Try and take some momentum into the back 9.
On a birdie hole, you don't want to be engaging in damage limitation, but that's what Bauer's doing. And in a strange kind of way, making a 4 with your second ball gives you some impetus.
Yeah, that's the best he could have hoped for, really.
No mistakes thus far, though, from Andrew Wilson, who's been imperious.
When you're picking up as many shots as you have done today, do you have to adjust your strategy as you move through the round?
I don't think so. Like, I've sent my caddy out. Like, I've obviously seen the leaderboard and I'm a few shots behind, so you just sort of No, I'm keeping my strategy the same, because off the tee I've been a bit wild, and I'm just, I know it sounds stupid considering my scores, but I'm just trying to get it in play and then just attack the pins from the positions I'm hitting it in, so yeah.
How many more birdies do you think are conceivably possible over these final few holes?
Well, technically, I think if you're hitting good shots and the green's running good, I think you could birdie all of them, but yeah, it's just hitting the right shots at the right time, and then obviously 18 being a par 5, anything's possible up there, so yeah, it should be interesting, closing a few holes.
Great scoring so far, keep it going.
You. Spot on, I'll see you around.
Andrew Wilson from Rockcliffe Hall lives in Darlington, and he's having a wonderful day.
Oh, what a lovely happy chappy he came across there talking to Kit. That's another good shot across this slightly strange hole with that big sort of crater and canyon that the players have to think about laying up in front of, or the very long ones consider a great big bash over it.
Yeah, Galbraith now on 10. Just to clean up for his birdie 4. A little bit tentative, but in the middle. Another birdie on the card.
We're at Brocket, and for Andrew Wilson, the hole must seem like a bucket. Can he drain another?
Well, this would be a bonus. He wasn't too happy with the shot in. It's curling. Come on. No way. It's stuck right on the edge. Disbelief. Well, is he going to wait? He can get to the hole and wait for 10 seconds. I think he's just too far away. Very unlucky.
Well, we come to one of my favourite holes on the golf course, the 12, 399 yards, beautiful short par 4, and it really is. I don't think the guys are going to be hitting driver this hole anyway, because, you know, it's such a tight fairway. On the right hand side, you miss it by a yard, it'll kick violently down to the trees and the long grass. Anything up the left as well, you got some gorse bushes up there. If the ball stays up there, you're going to have a tricky second shot to this green. Now, it's quite a tight fairway. I don't think boys are going to be hitting driver, because 279 yards to run out of room, downhill as well to boot, down into a bit of a quarry that you can see just short of this green, to a beautiful small green in the distance, and one bunker guarding it on the right hand side. Now, you hit a long iron off the tee, all you're going in with is a pitching wedge, and that is plain and simple what you need to do. Just stand there, take dead aim for the centre of the green. I tell you what, you're going to give yourself a good birdie chance all day long. There we go, drifting a little bit left to right into the middle of the dance floor, and you take that all day long. Not the biggest green in the world here at 12, so the boys, if they hit the middle of the dance floor, they're going to have a good chance of a birdie.
Donald Steele and Martin Ebert designed this course, and they made a good job of this hole. Every hole.
Yeah, it's a wonderful golf course. Very enjoyable for golfers of all standards, as we see Mansell. Oh. Unusual kick there. Expected that to feed towards the flag. Still a birdie chance. Now O'Neill, par putt on 13, and his good run comes to an end. That will be very disappointing for him at this stage.
6 birdies today, and his first bogey on a par 5. That stings.
Yeah, real stinger. Not an easy par 5 though.
We have a look at the amateur golf. And that's a fine second shot into about 4 feet. Very well judged.
Yeah, he's a talented young man, holding his own, as we said. Now Clements, perfect position off the 10th tee. Just a hybrid into this par 5. Should be able to flight this in nice and high and soft. Well, he's leaked it into the safe side. It might just come back to the fringe. Should be a standard up and down for a man of his talents.
Mansell's birdie putt, as you can see across this green. Slightly uphill. And beautifully done.
He was runner-up on the EuroPro Tour a couple of times last year, losing on both occasions narrowly to Dave Coupland.
Yeah, he came close. Good player now. Clements opting for the putter from on the very light grass. Slightly downhill to start and then a little bit uphill at the end. You can see that one just pulling up about 6 feet short.
It's fooled them all a bit today, Scott, hasn't it? Almost every putt we've seen has come up 4 or 5 feet short.
It has, but I think the danger there, if you go just past that flag, it runs off the back. Now Goff for his birdie. Beautiful putt, straight in the middle of the cup. Looking composed, enjoying himself, I'm sure.
Now Clements has this for a 4-shot lead. So reliable in all departments, very impressive.
Yeah, he's been absolutely relentless today. He's looked very confident and comfortable from the start.
Yes, considering this is the EuroPro Tour debut of Clements, you have to say, what a display. The 22-year-old from Braintree in Essex has seized control. He's 4 clear of nearest challengers Wilson and O'Neill, who's just birdied the 14th. More golf from Brocket Hall after the break. The debut of Brocket Hall as a venue and that of Todd Clements as a player on the EuroPro Tour have provided a perfect synergy thus far. Attached to this outstanding 36-hole facility, Clements has forged into a 4-shot lead. His next examination is the shortest par 4 on the back 9, but also one of the most tricky, the 11th.
Well, it's another fairway found for Clements. Just a gap wedge probably here. Trying to find this back shelf. There's a very tricky green, as we've said. And that is superb. Pin high, fully in control.
Bauer's 3rd shot here on the 13th. Little pitch up. Yeah, good shot, and he'll have that one for a birdie to improve his score. Good shot.
The story of Clements, well, he came through the Q School recently, tied 12th at Frillford Heath. Didn't pull up any trees there in particular, but here, apart from that one, he's looked very good indeed. That was a mystery putt.
Yeah, I mean, he's expecting to hold everything. The way he's playing and putting. Now Wilson, a little left to right on this one. He's boxed another one. Fantastic golf. Can he keep it going right till the end of the round? It's the only way of keeping some pressure on Clements, who's got this little 2-footer for par. Oh wow. Well, that was seriously unexpected. That was just a little dip in concentration.
Completely against the run of play. Amazing.
Yeah, I think that took us all by surprise, that one. Now Bauer on 13. Saw the shot in. Yeah, converted. Lovely birdie 4. Not the easiest of par 5s. Now can Clements put that little mishap behind him?
Yes, because suddenly that 4-shot lead is now only 2.
Yeah, things can change very quickly. Yeah, another quality approach. Just pulling back to the front edge, but that will be a birdie chance.
Midlander Richard Mansell is currently 4 back, and big picture-wise, he's trying to build on a very solid 2018 EuroPro Tour season.
Rich, you had a great campaign last year, 12th in your rookie season on the PGA EuroPro Tour. How are you feeling coming into this, your 2nd year?
Very excited, yeah. It's been a long but very productive winter. I did a lot of reflecting on last year and kind of believe that I was probably a lot closer than it was kind of going into Tour Champs and stuff, but didn't get off the EuroPro for might be a good thing kind of thing for me. Like you said, it was my first year. I've come back, I've had a few good results over the winter. I feel like I'm playing some good stuff, and yeah, I'm just excited to get going again.
How important and satisfying is it to be able to get yourself into contention and still shoot good scores when, as you say, the best game isn't quite there?
Yeah, it's massive. I took it on to invest in having a caddy for this year. I thought that was massive for me last year, and I think if I probably had one last year, I don't know, but it might have been the difference, and it wasn't, and I've learned from that. Obviously, you're not going to have your best game all the time. You're travelling 4 or 5 weeks without seeing your coach. You'll wake up one morning and you feel like you don't know how to swing a club, but you've still got to go and play. So it's massive for my confidence, knowing that I'm now able to compete still, not feeling like I'm at my best kind of thing.
Not just competing here, he's in the mix. But you would think a birdie on 13 would be imperative.
Yeah, most definitely. Par 5s you've got to pick up. And he's a little bit unlucky there. He played that well, looking for it to come in off that little slope, pin high right. It's just released on him coming out of the semi-rough. Not as close as he would like, but a birdie chance anyway.
Also for adrift, Gary, Woodman.
Yeah, it just hasn't quite happened for Guy Woodman. And when you've not been in this situation, it is difficult to keep yourself calm. But he's hit a lot of good shots, and that's another one there.
Yeah, there's still an opportunity for him. Put a little run together. Get a great finish out of the week. Now Galbraith, par putt at 14. Fairly long par 3 this one. Again with the tricky green. That one up the slope. Bang on line.
Now back to that must make for Mansell to retain title aspirations, you would assume.
Yeah, definitely needs it. And just a little bit tentative. I think he would know that. Opportunities running out. And the par 5s always feel crucial when you're a pro.
Now after that horror 3-putt on 11, can Clements repair the damage here?
Good chance. It's all about the pace, and oh, look at that. It looked as though it was coming in, Scott, and then sort of just straightened up and went over the edge.
Yeah, absolutely. That was turning right into the centre of the hole and then just moved back to the right lip. He couldn't believe that. Perhaps just because there's a little bit of wear. This is the last group. Tiny little bobble can just send it off. He feels gutted by that one.
That little tiny one for Galbraith, who's dropped a shot.
Now Woodman, can he get something going now? He should have had a read off Clemens' putt. It's a must make for him. Go on, get there. Exactly the same. Thought it was turning in off the right lip. Absolutely stayed there.
A putt that sums up his day, really. We've had a reminder of how quickly things can change. Suddenly, the 4-shot cushion enjoyed by Clements has been slashed to only 2 from Wilson. And next up for the pace setter, it's the lengthiest hole on the course. Here's John to tell us about the 13th.
Well, as tight as you like, this 13th, it's 606 yards. It's a massive slog from start to finish. I'm out with driver. It's a no-brainer. Big tree garden on the right-hand side. It's just let rip. You can just see a nice little dead tree in the distance. Probably aim at that with a little fade. Bob's your uncle. You should be in A1 position. Here we go. Whew. Come on, keep cutting. Miss that tree. Oh, you little beauty. You little beauty. Let's go up and have a little closer look, eh? Well, guys, massive slog off the tee. Bit off a little bit more than I can chew, but I come up trump, so I'm smack bang in the middle of the fairway, so you can really go a lot more right off the tee for the players. Wind's slightly down off my shoulders, so it's down the breeze, downhill a little bit, big bunkers garden on the right-hand side as well. You know, nice slopey green, but if you slightly hug it up that left with a little fade, it should kick round nicely and feed up onto the dance floor. But it's going to be 2 massive whacks to get there into. Cracking hole. Where we are, guys, in the feed up onto the green here at the 13th, it's an absolute perler. So if you're going for it in 2, this is roughly where you're going to be pitching it, and it's going to slide onto the green. It's going to camber from left to right, back right pin position, probably final day. You've got these 2 bunkers guarding it, so you are going to hug the left-hand side with a little drifty fade. But if you're out of position off the tee, obviously you can lay back there, give yourself a 60-70 yard. There's a nice big space for the boys to lay up there, and so they can get on the green in 3. But you'll just see this when the ball starts running, it will kick to the right-hand side and feed down, and that will just accelerate all the way to the back right-hand side of the green. Then with the pin where it is today, which I think is actually quite a hard position, you can just come up there on the left-hand side, and watch this just feed down now. I mean, look at the camber on that green. It really will help you, especially in a pin like that. All of a sudden you think you're missing the green to the left, and it'll end up $1 million and give yourself a chance of an eagle. It's a cracking hole, this 13th, an absolute monster.
A monster indeed, and it is all about the tee shot, and that's where this man, Clements, who knows this course, should be gaining a little advantage, and he has taken that up the right over the trees. Has he got away with it? It's bounding through. Well, that's down the right side. I think that is very long.
It was a very brave line. He went right to the big tree, I think, with that one. 14th, Goff's tee shot. At this pretty little par 3, and a very pretty shot.
Yeah, that was all over it. He'd be loving that. Now up to the 17th. Another par 3, short par 3. Probably no more than a 9 or a soft 8 for these guys. Back pin, right over the flag. Tremendous shot from O'Neill, another birdie chance.
Around the various tours across the planet, we see that distance is a massive advantage, and even though Clements is out of position here, he can nudge that one down and still give himself a realistic birdie chance.
Yeah, absolutely. The tee shot was long. He was a little bit unlucky, I guess, to be blocked by the trees. A little punch through, and he'll just have a wedge in there for his 3rd. Goff. Lovely tee shot into this par 3 14th. Little uphill putt here. Yeah, confidently rolled in again. Very impressed with this young man.
Back to Clements. 3rd shot now, having bumped one out through the trunks of the trees. And a very nicely controlled in from about 70 yards there.
Conor O'Neill, 7 birdies against just a single bogey so far today. Oh, but the 8th birdie proves elusive. He's currently 3rd, and with that miss, you get the feeling his chance of lifting the trophy is gone.
Yeah, he really needed that one. It was a great putt. Some of these pin positions have been very tricky today. A lot of break around the hole. Now Galbraith, 2nd shot to 15, short par 4. Guys will be looking to take dead aim with their wedges in here. Some good birdie opportunities in the closing stretch. And there's another one right there.
Yes, you're right, Scott. There's been 1 or 2 very tricky pin placements. And again, it's another lovely putt from Clements. He knows the course, and as you can see from the gesture of his arm, he expected that to just drift in. But par, and he's closing the holes out.
Yeah, no damage done.
Galbraith turned professional late in 2017 at the Prem Group Irish Masters last year. He was tied 4th, 1 shot outside of a playoff. Today, who knows, time left for him. Galbraith climbs double digits under par and into 7th place alone. Amateur John Goff continues to acquit himself with distinction, but too clear, 5 holes to negotiate. Todd Clements is the man to beat in the IFX Payments Championship. We'll be back in just a moment. Brocket Hall, resplendent in the springtime. It's flat calm, and the uber-talented golfers on the EuroPro Tour are taking full advantage. John Goff and Connor O'Neill are tied third. Andrew Wilson's on track for a really low number, but 2 shots clear, 5 holes to play, and about to take on the 14th, it's Todd Clements.
Par 3 down the hill here. Just about 200 yards. Won't be playing anything like that today. Soft greens. That's below the hole. Makeable one. Again for Clements, we've said that all day pretty much.
Forward to the par 3 17th, which plays slightly uphill. Not a big club though for these players. Back to Kit on the 14th.
You won't find 3 more sociable balls on a par 3 than right here from our final group. Clements is the one slightly furthest away. He's got about 20 feet up a slight rise in the green. It's going to bleed a touch from left to right, but he can be aggressive with it. After the drop shot and then that par 5, a birdie would really come in handy right now.
Now on the 16th, Galbraith. We can't really write off his chances just yet, but you have to think he needs a very big finish.
Yeah, he needs a string of birdies to finish, to put any pressure on Clements. And that one is going to leave him work to do. Long putt now. We saw from Kit, Clements is first to go. He's going to give his playing partners a bit of a read on pace and line. And this man should know the pace. He's left the pin in. Oh, just thought that was going to shift a little bit at the end. He's threatened the hole all day, apart from that one mishap.
No mishaps whatsoever for Andrew Wilson. An unblemished card, full of red numbers. And looking for another here.
Up this little rise that you can see, just on the right edge, and it should swing in. Brilliant, look at that. Read it perfect. I must say, he really has played exceptionally well today. It's been wonderful to watch.
Yeah, low scoring was going to be the order of the day. And this man has taken the course apart. What could he do on the final hole? Now Galbraith, we saw the approach with a wedge, a little bit wayward. Nice time to drain a long one, perhaps. Giving it a chance. Oh! Beautiful.
Back-to-back birdies at just the right time for this former Northern Ireland amateur champion.
Ron O'Neill, yet another eagle putt. Played the par 5s quite wonderfully on this back 9. Very, very tricky putt though. And he's laid that one dead. That'll be a birdie to finish.
With so many birdies being recorded, Clements can't afford to slip up, and his drive on 15, well, it's in the mayor's office.
Yeah, prime position. Just need to get dialed in. Keep being dialed in. He's been dialed in all day. And there's another one. No sign of cracking at all here.
Yeah, good shot.
Very, very calm. Great to see.
Galbraith, can he make it 3 in a row? Might just be a tweaked a bit left by the looks of things. Yeah, perfect length, but a long putt.
Yeah, that pin cut tight on the right. As we see O'Neill tidy up his birdie finish. Great round, 7 under par with a bogey on a par 5 as well. Fantastic way to close out your tournament.
Now You can't build a lead big enough. This for more comfort.
Well, it is relentless, isn't it? He's just done everything right today. Fully in control of his game.
Yes, apart from that really strange 3-putt on 11, he's been magnificent.
Yeah, hard to fault him. Now Wilson. Approach to the par 5 18th. Over the flag. Could have done with a bit of zip there just to bring it back. A lot of trees on this 18th hole which can get in your way.
Yeah, and another very difficult pin to get close to.
Galbraith, pin high left, about 50 feet here. Afford to give it a good wrap, which he has. Go on then. Yeah, guys have really putted well this week. The leaders anyway, they always do, but pace putting as well has been superb.
Yes, I think the venues on this year's EuroPro Tour roster are the best ever. And this has kicked us off in fine style. Now, Wilson has got a putt here for a 64, and bear in mind, it's a par 73.
Yeah, this for a 9 under par round. Well, he gave it a chance. Just slid by on the right side.
There's a big leaderboard right by the 16th tee, so Clements knows exactly where he stands and what he's got to do. And he's absolutely bulleted a drive right down here. He's a long way, straight down the middle. It's set up a wonderful look to that pin in the back left. It'll just be a flick with a wedge from here.
Power and accuracy, Gary. That's always a tough combination to beat.
Yeah, if you're in control of it and you have power and accuracy, you're probably, as we're seeing with Mr. Clements, in pole position.
Just got to be careful with the spin here. Really rips back from the back of this green to the middle. He knew that.
Serious raz on that.
Yeah, he had the strike, didn't he? He knew he needed to pitch it past the flag. Now Wilson, what a superb round. Tremendous front 9 and back 9.
And even if he doesn't win, that sets him up confidence-wise for the rest of the campaign.
Yeah, massive boost. Game's in a good place, putting well, as is this man. Just about 18 feet here. Slow putt, very slow putt. Maybe just a little bit edgy there, Gary, now. 3 holes to go.
Yeah, just a little bit. I guess it's in your mind. You know, several shot lead, get down in 2. Galbraith, as we can see, just from the fringe, just hopped a little bit as it came on. Will that stop it getting there? No, and it burned the edge of the hole as well. I think you could hear right behind the hole. Yep, certainly is.
Yeah, it was another great effort. As you said earlier, very, very tricky pin to get near. As we see family members and friends, supporters. A little bit nail biting. Don't really want to leave yourself too many of these. There we go. No danger.
What rounds to report from O'Neill and Wilson. Mid-60s excellence from both. But too clear, 2 holes to play in this IFX Payments Championship. The man in charge of his own destiny is Todd Clements. Whatever happens, the first champion of the 2019 PGA EuroPro Tour season will be crowned after the break. If this season-launching tournament on the EuroPro Tour is a good indicator, we're in for a treat in 2019. An amateur, John Goff, has performed superbly. Andrew Wilson has signed for a 65 to set the clubhouse target. But out in front by 2, with just a couple of holes to play, it's Todd Clements. For him, the 17th awaits. Here's John to talk us through it.
Now you're wondering why I got these 3 clubs. It's because this green is massive. 3 clubs is what you need from front to back. No brainer. This 17th, beautiful par 3, 2 holes to go, 149 yards from the back here to the front of the green, about 161 to the middle, and the wind is a massive factor. Pot bunker on the left-hand side, just shy and left on it. Big slope on the right-hand side, just shy of the green as well, can feed down in there, give you a really awkward chip, and you won't be able to see the bottom of the flag. But the wind is the biggest factor. 2 big oak trees down the left, guarding all that wind, really playing havoc with the ball. If I hit 8 iron, it's going to be short. 7 iron, probably just get on the green. 6 iron takes all the trouble that is short of this green, out of play, gets you on the dance floor, and I tell you what, you take that all day long. Now back at the stance, 6 iron, just going to plod it up there. And that's past the flag, no problem. Took all the trouble out of play. That's how you play it.
Well, thanks for that, John. Let's see if the boys take your advice. I've got a feeling Clements will be going airborne route all the way to this back flag, and he loves it. He's saying be right. Yeah, straight over the flag. 10 or 12 feet for yet another birdie. And that was a crucial shot, really. If he'd missed the green right there, he might have left himself an awkward one.
Yeah, that was a great shot. So we look at young John Goff, giving it every ounce of his strength, chasing it across the threshold of the green. Just about pin height with that little chip up.
As for Guy Woodman, well, it's been exclusively pars on the back 9 for him. A couple of birdies to finish would improve the payday.
Yeah, it'd be very nice for Guy just to pick up something in these closing holes. He's just gone a bit safe with that one. Middle of the green.
One of the stories of this year's event has been John Goff. For an amateur to do as well as he has, a big plus. Well done, John. His reward, a chat with Kit.
You're at university over in the States at UNC Charlotte. Yeah. How much has that helped you grow as a human and a golfer?
Oh, it's great. You learn a lot more life skills along with golf skills. We play golf every day, and then you got to cook, clean everything for yourself. So it's a real man's world now.
You were only back over in the UK for a few days before coming to this tournament. Is that an easy transition to make, coming from the sort of American courses over to the UK?
It kind of is and it kind of isn't. When you've got nice firm fairways like they are here today and this week, it's a bit different because obviously the ball lands and stops over there. But the greens, it's really nice. It's like target golf, and it's nice to kind of play that. I like that.
Golfing runs in the family as well. Your little brother Connor, he played in the British Masters a couple of weeks ago. How much does it help to have that little sibling rivalry, maybe pushing each other on?
Listen, I'm kind of glad he's doing his GCSEs in a minute, giving me a bit of limelight, but no, he's doing great. Obviously, he's in GCSEs, but it's good to kind of keep me pushing because no one likes to be outdone by their younger brother.
Well, you're certainly grabbing the limelight this week.
The great golfing state of North Carolina. What a place to serve your apprenticeship.
Yeah, fantastic place to be. And John and his brother Connor, both fantastic prospects. That's not his best pitch of the day. Just slid underneath that one in the fluffy grass. Now Woodman from the heart of the 17th. What's he got here, Gary?
Probably had, as you could see, uphill. It slows up very quickly there. If it had got to the hole, it would have just broken from the right fractionally. Eager spectators watching now on 18 as Rachel Mansell tries to chip in and close out his round. See how awkward it was there. They just had to give it a little jab. That's kind of been a very easy lie. Good result though.
Yeah, I think he'll take that. Another chance for birdie. There are some awkward little chips and pitches. Now the leader, Clements. This for another birdie to extend his lead. Great tee shot in and beautifully red putt.
Yes, well, I'm done. Sorry. It was Mum. Sorry, I got excited.
Now to make yourself feel old, Scott, when the players' mothers are younger than you.
Yeah, it's incredible, isn't it? These young talents Just 22 years of age, on the precipice of his first victory.
Can Goff make amends for the slightly fluffy chip? Well, it's a difficult place. He got the pace, but it was always drifting further away. As we look at Guy Woodman now, just over 3 feet. This right half firmly in, Guy.
Yeah, well done.
Now back to 18. Mansell looking to finish on a high.
Yeah, it was an awkward chip. He played it well. Just a solid putt required. Duly delivered.
Last summer he was tied second at Wychwood Park. He was second in the IFX Wing Boots Championship at Fox Hills, and you get the feeling he's a winner in waiting.
Yeah, most definitely. Just got to keep doing what he's doing. There, Clements on the final hole. He's found no trouble. He's plotting his way down sensibly with that 3-shot lead. Now Goff. This would be an important putt just to seal his tournament in a good fashion. Yes, duly done. Tremendous week for the amateur John Goff.
And Gary, we've been praiseworthy of Todd Clements' technique all the way round here today. I think we should also be praiseworthy of his temperament.
Oh, there's no doubt of that, Phil. He's kept calm. You know, he's a relatively... I mean, he's experienced, but inexperienced in many ways, and you know, he's kept himself together tremendously. It's been a fantastic performance.
Yeah, he's got a great team around him. Stuart Cage, his manager, former European Tour player. A little bit long with that one, a bit bold, but it is a very tight pin over that bunker.
It's almost the first time where we've seen perhaps a touch of adrenaline. He's got it down there in front of the green and then perhaps got just a touch excited.
Yeah, well, the worst thing he could have done there was get too cute and come up in that front bunker with a bad lie. He's found the putting surface. Long birdie attempt now. He's got a chance. Very close. Anxious moments.
Yes, but £10,000 almost collected. That's the first prize here. And what a start, as we've said, to the season. Couldn't be better for him.
Now, fantastic for his EuroPro season. He's played well on the MENA Tour earlier in the year. Now Woodman. Another slightly pressurised putt for a par on 18. Yeah, well done. Not his day, but a great performance overall.
Yes, he's going to be tied 6th alongside John Ross Galbraith.
Now here we go, Clements. 4 feet per par. Oh, a little bit tentative. It didn't matter though. He had breathing space. Tremendous win, Gary.
It was fantastic, and you know, there he is. What a start to the season, and well on his way to maybe going to the Challenge Tour in a few months' time.
Yes, the top 5 on the money list at the end of the year will be promoted, and Todd Clements must be a serious candidate.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
Todd, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
You've just won the IFX Championship. How do you feel?
I can't really put my emotions into words right now, to be honest. It's a dream start to hopefully a successful season.
You were playing incredibly well out there today. Just how good did your game feel?
It's felt like the same all week. I left a few out there the first 2 days, and you know, I just knew I had to keep doing what I was doing. I'm in good form. I'm in control of my own game, and I've been working really hard on mentally, and you know, I've been guided by some really successful people, you know, major winners, and I kind of really stuck by them rules of today, and it really massively helped me.
You had your mum here, loads of support out there. How good was it to do it in front of all of those guys?
Yeah, to be staying at home with all my friends here, you know, like everyone supporting me. You know, this is for them. I'm just the face of it, really. They do everything unbelievably well. They do everything for me, and I can't thank them enough, really.
Awesome week's golf, Todd. Congrats.
Cheers, Kit. Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Yes, Brocket Hall and Todd Clements, a twin success. As far as debuts go, that was very eye-catching. The likes of O'Neill and Wilson can draw so many positives, but the man of the moment is terrific, Todd Clements, the IFX Payments Championship winner, and of course, our first leader of the 2019 EuroPro Tour Order of Merit. Next week, it's the Matchroom Sport Championship at Harleford Golf Club. But for now, from a tremendous season opener, it's goodbye.